Chosen one, you did not stumble upon this message by chance. This is divine appointment. The Father of lights, who orders every season and aligns every moment, has drawn you here at this exact hour. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now, because the time appointed for your breakthrough has arrived. You have been standing at the threshold of something you could not yet name. There has been such a deep and holy change that even the air around you has changed. And right now, tonight, heaven is talking. The silence you used to feel is ending. The time of waiting is over. The veil is coming off because the vision is still for a certain time. It moves quickly to the end and won't lie. It tries, but you should wait for it because it will come. Habakkuk chapter 3. You are not early, chosen one. You're not behind schedule. Heaven meant for you to be right where you are now. And what you are about to hear isn't just words of comfort. This is a message from God the Father to prepare you for what is happening right now. There is a change happening. Someone is moving. And the feeling of saying goodbye that you've been having is not punishment. It has a purpose. Please stay with me until the end. I will lead you in a prayer that will fill your heart with strength and peace for the days to come. The next part of your book is not empty. This is holy. Yes, you have seen it, right? The sound of nothingness that lasts too long, the change in their eyes. The way being around them no longer makes me feel at home. When you reached out, all you got was coldness where warmth used to be. The signs have been telling you for a while now. You told yourself it wasn't important, though. It was just a rough spot. Not much more than a season. You've given reasons, rubbed out the edges, and shut your eyes to what was already happening. Now though, chosen one, it's time. The veil is now coming off. The truth is coming out like dawn. This person is getting ready to leave. Even if the thought makes your heart shake, don't give up. What feels like being left behind is often a divine release. The trip ahead is not a punishment. This is really a gift. Some doors do close, but that's only because a much bigger one is about to open. The Most High has seen everything. Every time you stayed, it got easier to leave. Every time you showed love, it wasn't met with the same fire. The nights when you cried on your pillow, no one else knew you were sad. He saw you sitting there and hoping and praying that the connection would work again. Still, the answer from heaven has come. This wasn't supposed to go on forever. Some people are sent for a short time, not forever. They come to teach, shape, or stir something inside you. But they have to leave when their job is done. What you thought was breaking is actually the beginning of becoming. You can see that I'm being different. It comes up now. Do you not understand it? The pain is still real. It's tough to give up things that used to make you happy. But the pain you're feeling isn't because God took something away from you. The reason is that you tried to hold on to something that He was gently telling you to let go of. They have made up their minds. They have already talked about it behind closed doors. Why were you the last to know? It's not because you're not worthy, but because they were afraid of how your heart would react. But the Lord doesn't hide things from those He loves. What was hidden is now out in the open. The truth will set you free, even if it hurts. When something walks away, don't chase it. Don't beg for love that doesn't see you anymore. The person who made you won't let you live in the shadow of someone else's uncertainty. He won't let someone who can't see your worth tie you down. It's not over yet. This is the start. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. Faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. I'd like to take a moment to share a story from my own life. I held onto a relationship for years because I thought it was my destiny. I fasted and prayed over it, asking God to fix what was broken. Still, it got away from me more and more as I tried to hold on. I thought everything was going to end. God wasn't taking anything away from me, though. That's something I didn't know at the time. He took something from me. That person wasn't my enemy. They held me down. And heaven couldn't move me while I was still attached to something that had already done its job. Something changed when I finally let go. Not because I was mad, but because I was tired. The air around me changed. It became easier for me to pray. My eyesight got better. Within a few months, I entered a time I could never have handled if I had held on to what God was telling me to let go of. You are now in that moment, chosen one. Remember Hagar, who was lost and alone in the desert. But when she was at her worst, she met the all-seeing God. You are seen too, just like she is. We haven't forgotten about you. You are not left alone. You're not going to the desert. Sign up for this channel and turn on notifications if this message is already speaking to you. These words don't just appear. They come at certain times. And staying in touch makes sure that the next word God has for you gets to you at the right time. It is the spot where fate starts. This farewell is not a curse. It saves lives. What has dimmed your light is being taken away by the loving hand of God. When you look back, you will be glad the door was shut because you will understand it then. You'll be thankful for the quiet that helped you hear God's voice again. Protecting yourself is what feels like being turned down. What looks like the end is actually just a new route for you to take. Also remember that you were never meant to depend on someone else's love. You were never meant to be ignored, tolerated, or only half loved. You were made with a purpose in mind. In the hands of the artist, you are a work of art. He won't let you waste your life waiting for someone who doesn't want you. Don't fight the shift, then don't try to stop yourself from letting go. It's often the hardest goodbyes that lead to the most beautiful starts. They couldn't have left if they were meant to stay, but they won't always be yours. They taught you a lesson. Now you need to open your hands so something new can go in them. Now the question is not why they are leaving. Now the question is, do you trust who God is? He has given you peace, joy, a reason to live and love that honors Him, which is much greater than what you are afraid to lose. It's waiting for you just past this goodbye. Pay close attention, chosen one. If the Most High tells you that it's time to say goodbye, He doesn't do it to bother you or leave you in grief. He tells the truth to wake people up, not to scare them. Every message from God comes with responsibility. What you do next is more important than you think, because this is where you start to heal and where the next part of your journey quietly begins. This is the first step. Never ask someone who is leaving for answers again. Don't take their words as a sign of ending things. Don't wait for them to say what they were afraid to say. The quiet you keep running away from could be God's mercy protecting your heart from more pain. Watch out for the Lord and be still while you wait for Him. Because giving up is sometimes the only way to find peace, not their explanations. By going through old pictures, reading old messages, and going over every conversation again and again in your mind, you are holding on to a chapter that do not make the wound you are trying to close bigger. Heaven has already turned. Let the stillness become holy instead. Instead of a sentence, let silence be at a safe place. After that, you need to keep your emotional landscape safe. Pay attention to what makes your heart hurt again. A song, a smell, or a daily routine. It's not just a bunch of harmless memories. The doors are open. Slowly but firmly close them. This is not being emotionally cold. It is wise in a spiritual way. If your heart keeps going back to the old, you can't move into the new. You can change your focus on purpose. A goodbye always makes you feel empty inside. And that space will be full of pain if it's not used for something. Start out small. Record one honest sentence in a book. Go for a walk without your phone. Read even one verse from the Bible that grounds you. Heals those who are hurt and stitches up their wounds. These things are not small. They help heal you spiritually, and over time they become your base. You must also accept another truth. You don't have to tell anyone how you got better. Some people might ask. They might think that some people will get it wrong. Tell them that the person who led you through this change is also protecting your reputation. Remember how Jesus stayed quiet in front of his accusers after being betrayed and left behind. He didn't fight back. He put his trust in the Father. You must do the same. Also, please forgive. Not because it's easy to forget what happened, but because being angry keeps you stuck in a place that God wants you to leave. It's not weak to forgive. It gives you the most freedom. You might have to forgive the same person more than once some days. That's fine. You are getting better in stages. Talk about what will happen next. Your words are more than just your thoughts out loud. Those are seeds. Stop when you hear yourself say, "Maybe I wasn't enough." Change it to "God is lining me up with what is meant." Let the truth of what heaven sees in you show up in your inner dialogue. The tongue has the power to kill or alive. So only say things that will make people live. Do not rush into making new connections right now. Now is not the time to replace. It's time to heal and rebuild. Get back in touch with your soul and the things you love before your heart got involved. Bring out the dreams you put away. Go back to the goals you made. You're not beginning over. You're thinking about the person you were before the breakup. Trust that what comes next will happen at the right time. It's often in the quiet that we grow in the most sacred ways. There is a space, a holy pause after saying goodbye. Do not rush to fill it out. Use it to sit in. Allow the pain to teach you. God will be there to meet you. It's not empty in that stillness. It is pregnant with a plan. This is where things become clear. This is where strength is made. Right now is where your discernment gets stronger for what's to come. Listen up, chosen one. Your obedience in small steps every day is what turns your sadness into strength. Be kind and let go. Don't be afraid to move forward. Know that the one who started a good work and you will see it through to the end. There's no waste going on, not even this. He's not done with you yet. Not even close. What's ahead of you is bigger than what's behind you. Not just for comfort, but also for calling. What the Most High has planned for you is even better than what you're losing. You were always meant to do this. Right now, there is a sacred shift going on. Despite the fact that your heart may still be tied to someone who is leaving, heaven is not surprised. You are not being left behind. You are being moved around. Allow them to leave. Don't answer the conversations. Kindly shut the door behind them. Lift your eyes as it does. It's not because the pain is gone, but because there is holy ground ahead. You also can't go into it with your back to the wall. You might not be ready yet. That's fine. Even when God called Gideon a great warrior, he didn't feel ready. He was still hiding in fear and threshing wheat in a wine press. But the Lord doesn't talk based on where you are. He speaks based on what will happen to you. He is also telling her what I'm calling you into will need space. There is a space that can't be shared with someone who doesn't have the same spirit, rhythm, or readiness. You can be sad about this loss while still doing what you're told. Because following orders often means going through things we can't explain. But faith isn't based on fully understanding things. Trust is at the heart of it. And the person you trust now is the same person who crossed the ocean, freed prisoners, and brought dead things back to life. He has seen the whole of you. He has seen your late-night thoughts, your silent sacrifices, and your prayers that haven't been answered. You held on tight to the person you loved because you thought they were part of the promise. But sometimes the promise is in the person who leaves, not the person who stays. Even though that truth is hard to bear, it is also comforting. Samuel cried when he was sad about Saul because the person he raised up turned away from God. Fill your horn with oil and be on your way. That same voice speaks now, not to rush your emotions, but to redirect your oil, your anointing, your time, your love. The man asked, but then the Lord came to him and asked, "How long will you mourn for Saul since I have rejected him? Toward what is truly appointed for you. Not everyone you cherish is meant to walk with you forever. Some walk only part of the road to shape you, refine you, or reflect back to you the parts of yourself you have outgrown. And when their purpose is fulfilled, their presence begins to fade. Not always because of malice, but because of divine design. You might wonder why this is happening now. Why would God allow this moment, this person, this bond to shift? Why loosen what felt so deeply rooted? The answer is not cruel, it is kind. The truth is, some roots grow wide but not deep. Some relationships grow familiar but not fruitful. And the gardener, the one who prunes so that life can flourish, knows when a branch must be cut, not to destroy the tree, but to protect the fruit. So yes, you may feel as if everything is being stripped away. But this is not destruction, it is preparation. Like Joseph in the prison before the palace, like Ruth in the fields before the Redeemer, like Paul in the storm before the shore. Over and over, Scripture shows us that what feels like delay or disappointment is often the very thing that clears the way for destiny. God is not punishing you by allowing someone to walk away. He is preserving you. He is guarding the space where something greater is about to unfold. Something you could not carry fully if you continued clinging to what has already served its purpose. If this truth is stirring something inside you right now, press the like button. Let it be your quiet agreement with what God is doing in your life. That one simple act declares to the spiritual realm that you are awake. You are aligned and you are ready to receive. You may feel left behind, but heaven sees you as being lifted up. You may feel like you are losing everything. But in truth, you are being returned to yourself. And in that return, you will discover that you were never as alone, never as abandoned, never as forgotten as you feared. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. His presence does not walk out the door with the one who left. His plans are not canceled because your relationship ended. His promises are not undone because your heart feels broken. Some doors closed not because you failed, but because God is faithful, because He will not allow you to keep giving your soul to something or someone that no. Let this truth anchor you now. Longer honors the call on your life. So breathe not because it is easy, but because you are still here, still standing, still loved, still led. And just as He watched over you in the silence, He walks beside you into what comes next. This goodbye is not the end of your story, it is the turning of a page. And what is ahead is not empty. It is an invitation into more peace, more clarity, more wholeness, more of the life you were always meant to live. And that life, it is still unfolding, chosen one, and it is sacred. I need you to understand something deeply personal here. There was a time in my life when I confused familiarity with destiny. I believed that because someone had been with me through hard seasons, they were meant to stay for all seasons. But what I learned painfully slowly is that not everyone who helps you survive is equipped to help you thrive. Some people are sent to help you get out of the desert, but they are not meant to go with you into the promised land. And everything changed when I finally gave up fighting the shift and started trusting the process. People I thought I couldn't live without are now just memories. And the people I didn't think would help me turned out to be my best friends. You may not yet understand, chosen one, that this goodbye isn't just about someone leaving your life. Also, it's about you and the way you're quietly ending your life. Before the outside changed, you felt something inside start to shift slowly and quietly. A soul that turned slowly. It became hard to handle what used to be bearable. What you used to put up with without question began to make your heart hurt. Conversations that used to get you excited made you feel tired. You became aware of how often you held your breath to remain calm. How many times did you try to explain yourself only to be misunderstood? You were outgrowing the space that used to hold you in that still quiet place, but you didn't know it. This was not a mess. It was the birth of clarity. It was the start of change because each stage of your life calls for a different version of you. That person who made it through the last chapter might not be ready for the next one. That's what makes this goodbye so hard and heavy. You're not just letting someone go. You're giving up the identity you had when they were close. The person who stayed too long, hoped too hard, and gave too much to keep something from going away is being let go. Be gentle when you hear this, though. God isn't just taking someone out of your way. He is changing the core of who you are becoming. And there is always tension when that kind of inner change takes place. At first, change rarely feels like freedom. A lot of the time it feels like something is being taken away before it can be brought back. There are times in your life when God lets someone go. Not because they are bad, but because they are connected to a part of you that you can't let go of. Their part in your story is over. They may still show affection, but they are no longer in line with your purpose. Being assigned is not the same as being with someone. Not everyone is meant to be with you through every season. That's why it hurts so much, because the loss of more than a relationship hurts you. You miss the person you were when that connection was whole. But God is meeting you in your grief, not to get rid of it, but to make it useful. He's freeing you not so He can leave you alone, but so you can take back your identity. Think about how Jacob fought all night and wouldn't let go until he was blessed. He walked away with a limp in the morning, but he also left with a new name. Not Jacob the liar anymore. Now let's talk about Israel. The one who fought God and won. That limp didn't mean you lost. Change was marked by it. And sometimes chosen ones, we leave seasons with a limp, too. We're not sad because we lost, but because we had a beautiful encounter with God. Make sure you understand this. When God starts to raise your vision, voice, and values, it will cause friction with things that used to feel comfortable. The comfort of yesterday will start to feel limiting. The dynamic that made your connection unique is starting to fade. It's not because your heart is getting harder. It's because your spirit is growing up. You are being moved slowly but steadily. If you want to learn how to stand up straight, rest without needing approval, and walk forward without needing someone to confirm your steps, then God is. And something holy is happening in this hidden place where you might feel alone or not understood. Teaching you these things. You can't learn these lessons if you're emotionally attached to someone who isn't growing with you. You are about to enter a time when your wisdom will win out over your desire, where your peace will be more important than your love, and where your duty will be greater than your desire for comfort. And there is strength in that. A quiet, steady strength, the kind that doesn't yell or bend. This doesn't mean the end of your kindness. It is making it better. This does not mean that you can no longer love. It's getting deeper. You will see that this goodbye didn't break you one day, not too long from now. It made sense to you. You'll see that the part of you that needed to be picked, explained, and seen in order to feel safe has changed into a person who walks with the quiet confidence. It took away the things that were blocking your view and showed you who you've always been. Of already being picked, held, and enough. You didn't let the breakup close your heart. It made your foundation stronger. What comes next won't ask you to prove your worth either. Nothing more will be needed than for you to stand in it. What's ahead will meet you at your full height. And the depth that you are building now will hold what's coming. You are not being taken apart. Heaven is not worried about you because they are getting you ready. It has faith in you. God isn't done yet. In fact, He's only just beginning. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Didn't you feel it? Not just in your head, but in your heart as well. A soft rumbling, an uneasy feeling that won't go away, or a small change in the way they talk to you. The pause between words, the half-hearted smile, and the change in presence that you can't quite explain, but also can't deny. You tried to forget about it. You've told yourself not to rush to think of things. Even though the ground beneath your connection started to shake, you fought to stay steady. But let me tell you the truth. Their heart left a long time ago before their feet did. The talks have become less deep. The warmth you used to feel is now flickering with doubt. Even though you've tried to fill in the gaps, fix the cracks and bring back what was. You can't fix something that heaven is slowly taking away. Their love, their commitment, and their attention. It has drifted slowly and quietly, but it can't be denied. They're being pulled in a way that doesn't match up with where you want to go. Because of this chosen one, the goodbye has to happen. You see, the Lord never leaves for no reason. What feels like abandonment is often actually God's way of keeping us safe. What seems like rejection is often just Him steering you away from a place He didn't want you to stay. Because my ways and thoughts are not the same as yours. My ways, says the Lord, for some reason, He sees things that you don't. Talk that happens behind closed doors. Behind polite actions, people hide their true intentions. Because He is kind, He moves before the damage is done to all of them. The person you're trying to hold on to might have already started getting ready to leave. Sometimes in silence, in decisions, or even when nothing is said, they have made deals in their hearts that they haven't said out loud. But heaven has heard them. And when it's time to say goodbye, it will not be sudden for God. Even if it seems sudden to you, this is not a fail, it's the right time for it. You will, in fact, ask yourself why. You'll think about the past, remember details, and question whether you were too much or not enough. To be clear, though, this is not because you failed. This is the release of something that has done its job. You can't build the life God wants you to have if you hold on to a relationship He wants you to let go of. When you stand in soil that doesn't feed your spirit anymore, you can't plant new seeds. Trees that bear fruit still need to be pruned. So the tree can produce more fruit. Even healthy branches are cut back. It may hurt to say goodbye, but this is also a doorway. The steady, wise hand of God is clearing the way for what couldn't come while your arms were still full of yesterday. It will hurt for sure. Some nights the quiet will seem very loud. When the place they used to be feels like a wound, but it won't always be that way. God never takes away or leaves a hole. To make room, He moves. You are ready to receive something holy, stable, and whole. After He clears out one space, He was tired and by himself under the broom tree. He asked God to end his life because he thought it was all over. In spite of that, God sent rest, food, and then direction in the wilderness. Elijah believed the story was over. In heaven, though, a new story was just beginning. It's the same with you. You're not getting in trouble. You are being put in place. This is not the end of fear. It's a step toward trust. Don't try to catch what God is letting go of. You will have to wait longer for what He is trying to give you. If you hold on tight to what is leaving, if you don't let go, you will drag out a chapter that was supposed to end, which will turn peace into chaos. His path is getting farther away from you the longer you try to bring back something He told you to rest. Don't let go with anger, let go with peace. Don't let go with anger, let go with respect. Because the Lord isn't just taking something away. He is making room for something bigger than you know yet. I remember a time in my own life when this truth really bothered me. I thought I couldn't live without that person. I thought the fact that they were there showed that God liked them. I freaked out when they started to pull away. I prayed more. I worked to fix what was wrong. I told myself that God would fix it if I could just hold on a little longer. But at the time, I didn't understand that God wasn't fixing it. He was replacing it. That person didn't leave an empty space. It was being cleaned up. I found parts of myself I had forgotten in that clearing, dreams I had put off, a voice that I turned down to keep the peace. I buried a calling to make room for someone else's comfort. Picked. That's what this moment is for you. One day, you'll be able to look back and see God's gentle fingerprints. Right now, you might not see the whole picture. In every painful moment, you will see that there was cover even when there wasn't one. There was love even when there was loss. There was grace even in saying goodbye. You'll know why this had to happen. When you enter the next season, the one you never thought you'd see, but were always meant to be in, you'll be grateful that the door shut. What happened next brought you more peace, purpose, and hope than you ever thought possible. You will cry out of wonder instead of sadness. Your story doesn't end here. It's just the end of one chapter so that the next one can start in full. So move forward even if it takes a while. You should move forward because you are being led, not because it doesn't hurt. As for the biggest goodbye, it's coming. But so is the biggest blessing you haven't seen yet. It's there already. There is a change in your life that you can't ignore. Under the surface, there is a quiet, but undeniable change that is rearranging the space around you and inside you. Some people might not be able to see the changes yet. However, your spirit has already begun to sense them. That uneasy tension, the silence, the conversations that don't feel the same. There is no chance in these events. You will have to say goodbye to someone. Very important, and the separation will hurt deeply, not just because someone is leaving, but also because of what it meant. Even if the words stay the same, this is the start of a divine release. To you to have them there. You love them very much. You put your hopes in them. You thought about them when you prayed. But that season is now over, not because they are mean, but because God says they have to. You have not been turned down. It needs to be recalibrated. You've been praying for things to be clear. Then heaven will answer, not with ease, but with truth. It's time for this person to move on from your life. Even though their role was once important, it is now over. The path you are being called to take needs different people with you. It's not because you're better than them or because they failed, but because your goal has changed. Your calling is calling you to move on, and the old connections, no matter how familiar or comforting they are, can't carry you through the next season. It may hurt to be apart from someone and be sad to see them slip through your fingers. But this is not abandonment. The holy truth is being shown. The ghost knows what was said when you weren't there and has seen what you haven't heard. Watch the loyalty break down in silence. Thoughts, doubts, and betrayals that were said behind closed doors would have broken your heart if you had heard them. So, out of kindness, God covered your ears. But now is the time to walk in truth. Not so you can face it, but so you can let go. It's never easy to let go. But there are some people whose stay was only ever meant to be short. Some were put in your story to teach, to show, and to push you. They have to leave the stage when their part is over. Holding on to things that God wants to get rid of will only slow your growth and cloud your view. It's like holding onto a branch that doesn't have any roots left. It breaks more the more you hold on to it. It hurts to say goodbye. Yes, but it's also a sign. It tells you about new things, places you haven't been yet, and alignment you didn't know you needed. Now is the time of year when you need more clarity, wholeness, and peace than the old connection could ever give you. You won't miss the person who is leaving. They are part of what is being cleared out so that people can walk freely on the next path. Look at Naomi and Ruth after they lost someone. She told Ruth to go back to her people, but Ruth didn't hold on for comfort. She did it because of the promise. Ruth's loyalty set the stage for a legacy. Some like Orpah left because their time together had come to an end. The Orpah is some people. Their leaving doesn't mean they betrayed us. That's just a sign that their part of your path is over. In the coming days, you might see things that back up what you already feel. Strong words and actions that don't match the love you showed. You want to answer, defend yourself, and show that you have a good heart. But listen to this. You don't have to be as charged as they are. What they say can't change what God has said to you. No weapon that is made against you will work. Any tongue that rises against you to judge you, you will condemn. God Himself will defend you. You'll be okay. You're being watched. People may throw your name into rooms while you're not there. But don't worry about it. Though people may have thoughts, opinions, and judgments, these things cannot change what the Most High has planned. Allow them to talk, let them get it wrong. It wasn't meant for you to be explained. You were made to be picked and you are. Don't be sad because this is the last goodbye. This is a divine turnabout. There is real grief, but it's not the whole story. What seems like taking away is actually holy preparation. The Spirit is putting you with people who deeply understand you, who walk in truth, and who care about your soul as much as you care about theirs. Your circle is getting better. Your foundation is getting stronger. The noise is going away so that the voice of heaven can come through you. Now is the time for you to be free, not out of anger, but out of respect. Get rid of the old. Get rid of the old you as well. Who begged to be a part of something. The person who went on and on about their reasons. The person who was happy with almost. That version was brave to make it through. But now you're moving into the version that's ready to do well. Do not let your sadness keep you from seeing the blessing that is already coming. Do not let the pain of betrayal hide the good thing that is happening in the background. You won't miss what was meant for you all along. You can't lose what is yours. What is set in stone can't be taken away. The Lord will do what He wants to do for me. That promise hasn't changed even when people have. Don't stand because it doesn't hurt. Stand because you are held. You shouldn't move forward because you know what's ahead, but because the person leading you does. Trust that this heavy goodbye is making room for a better hello. The kind that won't leave. The kind that is based on truth, wraps around in peace, and lines up with your true destiny. It's not that far away. After all, as the last parts of this message start to weave into your spirit, you have been chosen. Take a moment to think about this truth. You are not about to lose everything. You are on the verge of becoming something. Even though there are a lot of goodbyes on this trip, it's not about who is leaving. It has to do with who you're walking toward. When you quietly give up something, a deeper part of you is born. Every act of faith that you don't see, and every time you choose trust over fear. There are no guarantees on the road ahead, but there are lots of hopes. When you have nothing and no one left to back you up but God Himself, you're about to go somewhere where your confidence will come from inside you, not from what's. This is where you start to walk not only in healing, but also in power because you know who you are around you. If you act like you're not hurt, you won't get stronger. It's about becoming more honest by letting pain do what it can do when you give it over to God. It makes things better, not better. What was never real is broken so that what will last can come into being. As long as you don't feel empty, you can live in lack. You are becoming empty so that divine fullness has a place to live. Loss does not mean that there is no purpose in life. When people say goodbye, there is sometimes a sacred space where new instructions are whispered. You were given new ideas and given new strength like a seed planted in the ground. And it's not just resilience that's growing right now, it is smart. It's this kind of wisdom that waits for what is true instead of what is easy. The kind that is based on who God says you are and doesn't worry about being misunderstood. The kind of wisdom that strolls slowly when everyone else is in a hurry. That doesn't change when other things do. And that's brave enough to stand alone because it knows God is enough. You won't be left behind. You are being made special. And people who used to walk with you might not get why you're quiet. Now your standards and now your care. They weren't asked to carry your mantle though. It wasn't their job to see what you see. Let go of the need to be seen by people who were never meant to see this part of your becoming. There is no shrinking in your life. It is being put in again back to what lasts, who matters, and what matters. You can hear clearly again now that the noise is going away. You can move around again now that the weight is off of you. The path is getting narrow not to trap you but to keep you on track. It's the grace of heaven hidden in the mystery of loss, but it will make sense soon. Every tear has a reason, and every pause is about getting ready. Heaven doesn't throw away pain. Also, you're not just leaving something to something. You are being led. You are being put down, positioned, or planted. There is nothing you need to do to prove your worth. You have to keep it in mind. You don't have to chase what comes next. You have to trust it. And one day, before you know it, you'll wake up and realize that your grief has changed. The weight has gone away. The pain has turned into awe. And the goodbye that broke your heart was the way to everything God had promised. Send this message right now to someone who is where you used to be. Send it to the person whose heart raced as they listened. What you send out in faith comes back to you many times over. When you bless someone, it opens the door for your own breakthrough. I have something to leave you with. During one of the worst times of my life, I learned. I was aware that I felt completely alone. It looks like all the doors were shut. Everyone I trusted had either left or stopped talking. When I yelled, I felt like I was shouting into the void, and no one would hear me. But something very important happened in that wild place. No longer did I ask God to bring people back. I stopped pleading with Him to fix what was broken. I asked Him one question instead. When no one is looking, who am I? What am I if no one is clapping? Who am I when there are no more people around and the noise is quiet? It was a deep, unshakable knowing that I was not alone, that I had never been alone, that every season of shedding was actually the season of strengthening, and that every person who left made room for the person I was becoming to finally stand. Even though there were no words, he started to answer with his presence. Ah, that's where you are now, chosen one. Now is the place where God will answer the question you didn't even know you had. You are meeting the most honest version of yourself. The person who knows they are worthy without any outside confirmation. The person who doesn't need a lot of people to hear them call. They are the ones who don't need permission to walk in. You will not fail because of this goodbye. It's your coming out. What is being shown to you now will carry you into every room. Every job and relationship that God has planned for you in the future. The gift God has given you is not tied to who stays. It has to do with who called you. He hasn't gone anywhere. He has always been there. He has never once had any doubts about you. Lift your head. But don't do it with pride. Do it with peace. Do it with confidence. There's more good to come. You are held, loved, and led. Take a deep breath now, beloved chosen one. You are in the right place at the right time. Whether your heart is heavy or heart is stirred, let us enter into the presence of the Most High together, giving up everything and trusting that He is close. Before the meeting ends, I want you to fully understand something. This message didn't just appear. There is no chance that you are here reading these words and hearing this voice right now. Heaven planned for these two to meet. Your spirit led you here because something important is about to happen in your life that couldn't wait any longer. You have been waiting for a while now, but that time of waiting is about to end. What you've been wondering about is about to become something you know. For a long time, God has been gently and persistently asking you to let go of something or someone. And today is the day. It's time now. Now is the time to let go. Not because you're not strong, but because you're ready. You have grown up. Not because you have given up. Some parts of you that needed that connection to feel whole are no longer alive. For the part of you that is whole because God says you are, that part is rising. The end of your story does not end with this painful goodbye. It's the start of your freedom, and I need you to accept that is true right now. Let us say a prayer. Father in heaven, we come to you now with hearts that are soft, shaking, and open. We don't come with perfect understanding, but we are ready to help. You are the God who knows the God, sees the God, and hears everything we say. So Lord, we let you into every secret part of our being, every pain we've pushed down, every tear we've sucked up, and every fear we've buried. Everything is at your feet today. Father, it's a hard, but holy word that someone is being let go. That something is changing and that a goodbye is coming. We say yes to your will even though our bodies and hearts don't want to. Show us how to give up the things you want us to let go of. Show us how to trust the hand that holds us even when it cuts us up. Lord, we're sorry that we've tried to hold on to things that you were gently trying to take away. We have begged people you have already let go to give us more information. We've tied our worth to fleeting feelings and put our hearts in places that won't last. We choose to trust your process today, though, because this moment is holy and quiet. We decide to let go of things that aren't helping us grow anymore. We choose to believe that you are not taking anything from us, but rather making room for something much bigger. Father, I pray that you comfort every heart that has lost a connection and comfort every soul. Feeling the pain of someone leaving brings an unnatural sense of comfort. Wrap your presence around them like a blanket to keep them warm. In the places where there is still confusion, God, speak softly and remind them that you never take away something without planning to add something else. That what seems like the end is often the start of something they never thought possible. Just like you split the Red Sea for Moses when it looked like he couldn't get away. Split the water in front of us now, make a way where there doesn't seem to be one. We want you to show us that you are more than just the God of beginnings and endings. Lord, please remind us that not everyone who comes to us is meant to stay with us. That some people come into our lives for a reason and leave for good. Let us be smart enough to tell the difference. Help us let go of what was and lean into what is going to be. In your words, you said, forget about the past. Do not think about the past too much. Look, I'm trying something new. So give us eyes to see it, hearts to accept it, and faith to walk into it. If our hands are too full of yesterday to receive what you are giving us today, God, help us let go. Show us how to walk with our hearts and hands open. Teach us to see the unknown not as a threat, but as an invitation when we feel alone and the silence of a goodbye feels like being left behind. Remind us of your promise that you will never leave us or forsake us. Let your closeness become more real to us than any sense of being apart from you. Be the quiet whisper that doesn't change. Help us stay calm when our feelings get the best of us. Be the light that helps us see when things aren't clear. Also, God, we ask that you heal us from the patterns that made us stay longer than we should have. Not just from the separation. Heal the parts of us that thought we had to work for love. Heal the parts that kept giving too much, too many explanations and not enough acceptance. Heal the wounds inside us that made us put up with less than what you asked us to carry. Remind us that you have picked us, set us apart, and love us very much. Father, we pray for the person who is leaving too. We bless them. We let them go. We forget about them. It's not because it's simple, but because you called us to freedom, and we can't bring anger into the future you've planned for us. That's why we give up every wrongdoing, every disappointment, and every unspoken word. They are put at the base of the cross. God, make room in our hearts for new relationships that show what your heart is like. For connections built on truth, not performance. For companionship that comes from the covenant, not from ease of use. Place us with people who will walk with us through both the high points and the low points. Put us in touch with people who understand our mission and can connect with our spirit. Also, Lord, help us see this time as a time to get ready, not as a punishment. We are not in exile, it is an increase. It's the desert before the promise. It's the quiet before the big break. The cutting comes before the bloom. That's why we won't hate the process. We'll wait for you right here. Even as this prayer is being said, we will trust you for every person who sees, hears, or is chosen. Father, I call out your peace, the kind that keeps minds and hearts safe. I declare your strength, the kind that gets better when you're weak. I declare your wisdom, the kind that calms the storm inside and stops the noise. You're still not done with us. You're just getting started. And what you're building in us won't fall apart. We can't take what you're making for us. That's why we stand on faith. We raise our hopeful eyes and say, God, have your way. In the name of Jesus Christ, who holds all of our seasons. Yes. If this prayer spoke to you and made you feel the spirit shift as you heard it, thank you for making this space a part of your pain relief. You are not going through this goodbye by yourself. When you walk with God, He walks with you. Leave a comment below saying, I receive this prayer and I trust God with what is. Next, don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep getting messages like this. Truth that speaks to your soul and helps. Let go of what doesn't belong and let the new thing that is waiting for you come in. You on your journey. More peace, more wisdom, and more of Him are on the way. He should always be with you until the next time. His hand will hold you up and His voice will lead you home. Your love, you are seeking, you are being led to something bigger. If this prayer touched your heart, or if you felt your spirit change as you read these words, I want to thank you for letting this space help you heal. You are not going through this goodbye by yourself. When you walk with God, He walks with you. No matter what, chosen one, I need you to fully understand something before you leave. What you just went through wasn't just a message, it was a meeting with God. The blessing that was on these words has now moved into your spirit. And what was said over you will not be lost. It will do everything that was asked of it. This is your Chera moment. The time you were given, it's time to say goodbye. Yes, but so is the best thing that's yet to happen to you and it's on its way. Leave a comment below saying, I'm ready to let go of what doesn't belong and receive the new thing that heaven is bringing forth. I receive this word and I trust God with what is next. That should be your claim. Those words should be your agreement with God. Also, if you feel like this word was meant for more than just this season, sign up to stay in touch. More is coming, more wisdom, more breakthroughs, and more of His presence talking to you right where you are. He should always be with you until we meet again. May His hand hold you up. May His voice lead you home. You're loved, you are seen, and you are being led to something bigger than you thought possible. You have been chosen. Walk in it. The door is open. Go. In the dark when it gets cold again and night falls on your heart, I'll be there with you through all the pain. See you for your mind. The world will feel cold again when night falls on your heart. No matter how painful it is, I'll be right there with you in the dark. The world will feel cold again when night falls on your heart. No matter how painful it is, I'll be right there with you in the dark. Also, it's been making you think. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment to place, where divine abundance is not just a hope. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your breakthrough awaits.